Um, I grew up in a very beautiful environment in Kuala Terengganu. As you all know, Terengganu is a state, Malay state, and we have a small population of Chinese. I grew up in this kind of environment, basically dominated by the Malay culture. And there are a lot of things to learn from Malay culture as well. The way they eat, the way they greet one another, their crafts, their art. Of course, my root is Chinese, and all I learned about the Chinese is from my grandparents, my grandmother, and my father. Also from my father, such as all the Chinese festivals, our cultural values, our philosophy, our thinking. All that is very different from Malays, and yet there are some similarities. So these two cultures, I learned quite a lot from these two cultures, make me a different artist altogether. My brothers and myself, Kat Lim and Kat Seng, we were apprenticed to my father, Mr. Chew Teng Beng. He was a commercial artist, and he makes signage, portraitures, and everything. So we learned on hand from him. My father taught me the basic rudiments of art. That means to say, looking at things, capturing their form, shaping their values, the textures, and the light and shade, proportions, perspective. Hence, these basic foundations gave me the head start from other artists as young as already like 7 or 8 years old. So what I did during that time is going out sketching with my father and my friends, my brothers, and you look at the subject matter outside you, and then you copy exactly what you see. This goes on for a couple of years, and you feel very tired after a while. It's not that I don't like realistic work. It's that because when you look at the realistic work for a while, you get very tired looking at it. Nothing much to stimulate you in your thinking and also in your vision or perception. So slowly, I beginning to transform what I see from Mother Nature. I love Mother Nature, and from Mother Nature, I learned quite a lot from Mother Nature in terms of all the visual elements, like colors, forms, lines, shapes, and all those visual elements. And as an artist, we have to do something not to duplicate what you see from Mother Nature. And Mother Nature is a very good teacher that you cannot learn from art school or even my father. You are the only one. As an artist, you are very observant. I see things different from other artists or other people. I can see beauty in any object that I come across. When I was a very young man or young boy, actually, still a kid, so I used to swim the river, see a lot of marine life, rocks, fish, all kinds of things. And under this sea, or I call it another fascinating world. Under the sea, you see all kinds of beautiful colors coming from corals, all kinds of fish. The whole environment is so beautiful, and that has been captivating my visual thinking most of the time. So I continue making corals. I interpret corals in the different ways. These are the important visual elements during that particular time that you still can remember until now. So it enriches you as an artist. You have this kind of visual repertoire that will help you. So when you paint, later on, it comes to you automatically. I am an environmentalist. I'm very concerned about our ecosystem. These days, people are very ruthless. They completely destroy Mother Nature for their human greeds. They are not aware of, by doing this thing, felling the trees, clearing the land, you are not only interfere with the climate change or climate condition, you are also getting rid of a lot of animals. The other thing is pineapple leaves. Pineapple plant, the duration of bearing a fruit is probably once a year, one fruit. You pluck the pineapple, you destroy the leaves. What do we do with the leaves? It's a waste. This we call agricultural waste. And I was telling myself, oh, these are the beautiful things. I think somebody should do something about it. Not until I went to study at Cranbrook Academy of Art in 1960s. I went on the Fulbright scholarship. I was given Fulbright scholarship to study. And fortunate enough, I was studying with printmaking. And in printmaking, we have people making also. The reason why I say this is because when I come back to Malaysia, especially in Penang, I have in mind to establish a cottage industry, helping poor people, especially people like fishermen, rubber tapers. Every year you have about 3 months of monsoon. When monsoon comes, the fishermen cannot go out to fish. So during this period, they can learn how to make paper, sell paper, and make extra income. So that was my intention. Intention number 2 is, like I say, I hate people who are actually inconsiderate to our ecosystem, not sensitive enough. Like such felling trees of making commercial paper. Now they fell a lot of pine trees. That is a problem. In my case, when I use this agricultural produce of waste, I'm not felling any tree. I'm only using the stem that is not usable anymore. Basically, I am very concerned about all these things, environment, ecosystem, things like that. Yeah. For me, I began not completely abstract yet, semi-abstract. You can see something, and yet you cannot see real things. For me, the thinking is that art should be also involve viewers. When the viewers look at the work of art, of course, when they see the realistic painting, they know exactly what it is: landscape, figures, portraiture, and so on. They know exactly. But in terms of abstract, we, like myself, would like the audience, would like the spectator to participate in the work of art. When you look at the painting, they can have many ways of interpretations. And then you mean what you mean. You see what the picture tells you. That is the way you interpret. In this way, you are actually stimulating your thought. Looking at the works, designs, the colors, and so on, you can visualize that associate with your experience, with your thinking. Then you interpret according to how you feel, your emotional values. And most important thing about the abstract work is that the colors are very important to me. I'm a colorist because the colors has tremendous psychological impact on human beings aside from the emotional feeling. That is very important. I say abstract painting is a ongoing kind of a process. That is why when I finish, I don't say I finish a work of art. I don't normally sign my name because For abstract, you can always add in something else. When you create at that time, you may not see what you see now. So you can always change it, add something or minus something. As a creative artist, you should be able to invent, reinvent, and present something new to the audience. That is your role as a creative artist. I started teaching in 1957. I began to teach in the primary school for a few years, and I went to teachers training college after that, from 59 to 61. After 61, I was asked to go and teach in Zhonghua Wising Secondary School, and I became a senior art teacher there. I taught for 1966. 67, I got a Fulbright scholarship to go to America to study art. So I also meantime I was appointed Ministry of Education to be a part-time lecturer in day training college, teaching, lecturing to student teachers for 3 years. So I am actually a very well-rounded person from primary, secondary to teacher training and then to university level. Very complete range as a teacher or as an educator. So I know. To me, I felt that, I'm still feeling that the Ministry of Education is really not interested in teaching, taking art education very seriously. Pathetic, I say. Art teaching is very important because if you teach art properly to our children, to appreciate the beauty, the appreciation of art, that is important. Personally, it is sad to say that Ministry of Education treat art teaching or art education as not important. In other words, it's a Cinderella subject, not important at all like science. But of course, you cannot deny science is important. But you also need to know that there should be also creative scientists. We don't want mundane scientists all the time experiment the same thing all the time. Sometimes you need some creative scientists to come up with something very interesting, invention. That is my thought. And I think it's very important. Art education should be, Ministry of Education should take it very seriously. As an artist, you should involve yourself in artistry. You know who are doing before what you're doing. You can correlate and who are good artists from different kinds of countries. Then you study their work and what are their philosophies in the creating, why they're using this kind of ideas all the time, what has inspired them, to get into this kind of art making all the time. Our time is now into the very high tech. So as an artist, we also should understand what does high tech mean. Can we incorporate high tech into art education? Of course we can, because we feel that high tech and art should be a combination for future art education. It is important that we look into new materials, how we can redesign the new materials to make it functional, to make it into some interesting object that requires the work of the collaboration between technologies and the artists, so that you can realize this thing. And I feel very strongly that every period of our time, there are new things will come out. So, and we should, as in education, keep our children aware of this and be able to help them to incorporate technology into art as well. That is my main concern, and hopefully this combination should be in the curriculum of art education in future. And that is all I can say from my own experience as in art education for a long time. Thank you.